Welcome back. So now in this video, we are supposed to take up the next question, that is question number 19, chapter number 10, 12th class NCERT chemistry back exercise, conversions, the part that you are scared of. Okay, I will try my level best to explain all the reactions. Okay, and I will try my level best to make it as simple as I can. And again, I highly recommend you to try to solve them first yourself, then watch this video. Okay, keep pausing the video, try to solve the question, and then just watch it to check it whether you have done it right or not, because it needs a lot of practice to be expert in conversions. Okay, so question number 10.19, how the following conversions can be carried out. The first part is we need to convert propene to propane 1-ol. Propene to propane 1-ol. CH3 CH double bond CH2 to CH3 CH2 CH2 OH. So this is the very first step we need to do while doing the conversions. We need to write the structure of the reactant and the product. Okay, now let's see how we can convert it. So we need to have how we can convert alkyl halides into alcohols. We can convert alkyl halide into alcohol. If I convert alkene into alkyl halide, our work will be done. Now, first of all, we need to see, we need to have the halide group at this carbon atom. Halide needs to be here. Okay, so for that we need to see whether we will be doing the addition, electrophilic addition of HBr into this molecule according to Markovnikov's rule or anti-Markovnikov's rule. Okay, so let's just quickly do it. Now I'm adding HBr to it. Now if I do not use peroxide, that is I do it according to Markovnikov's rule, Br will go here and H will go here. That will not solve the purpose. This means we need to use peroxide and we need to do it according to anti-Markovnikov's rule. So CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. Now very easily we can convert it into alcohol by treating it with aqueous KOH, CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. Okay, so the second part of this question is ethanol to but1-ine. I think we have already done this in the previous question also. Still, I will do it again. It will be just like a revision to you. Okay, ethanol to but1-ine. So CH3, CH2, OH. We need to convert it into CH3, CH2, C triple bond CH. So I have already told you that when we need to introduce carbon-carbon triple bond at the terminals, then we need to use acetylene. Okay, so first of all, what we will do, we will be converting this ethanol into alkyl chloride, that is ethyl chloride, by treating it with SOCl2 in the presence of pyridine. So it will get converted into CH3, CH2, Cl. Okay, now we can take acetylene. I'm just writing it here on this side. Now treat it with NaNH2 in the presence of liquid ammonia. So it will lead to the formation of sodium salt of acetylene. Okay, now we will just react it with this ethyl chloride. So it is CH3, CH2, Cl plus Na positive, C negative, triple bond CH. So it will lead to the formation of CH3, CH2, C triple bond, CH plus NaCl. So we have got our product, the required product. Okay, so this was, I think, repetition. Okay, let's now move into the third part of this question. 1 bromopropane to 2 bromopropane. 1 bromopropane to 2 bromopropane. Okay, CH3, CH2, 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 Br. CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, here it is Br. This is the conversion we need to do. Okay. So first of all, what we will do is we will just convert this into alkene. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2Br. We will treat it with alcoholic KOH so that it gets converted into alkene by dehydrohalogenation. So it will become CH double bond CH2. Okay, now you can again add HBr into it. Now you need to see whether you will be adding it according to Markovnikov's rule or anti-Markovnikov's rule. Okay, so you need to see it yourself now. Okay, so I am just writing it in my way that I feel I should do. So I have used Markovnikov's rule. You can just check whether Markovnikov's rule will be applicable or anti-Markovnikov's rule will be applicable. Definitely Markovnikov's is applicable. That is why I have written it. But you just go and check if you use anti-Markovnikov's rule here. That is, you do this reaction in the presence of peroxide, then what will be the product formed? Okay, so let's now move into the next part of this question. That is the fourth part. Fourth part of this question is we need to convert toluene into benzyl alcohol. Toluene to benzyl alcohol. So let's draw the structure of toluene first. And then we can draw the structure of benzyl alcohol. Okay. So first we can just convert this into alkyl halide. That is benzyl halide, not alkyl halide, benzyl halide. Then we will be doing the hydrolysis with aqueous KOH. So just treat it with chlorine or bromine in the presence of sunlight. It will lead to the formation of benzyl chloride. Now you can just convert it into benzyl alcohol by treating with aqueous KOH. Hope this is clear. Already, I think this question we have already done in some conversions in the previous questions also. Then we need to convert benzene into 4-bromo-nitrobenzene. Benzene to 4-bromo-nitrobenzene. So there we have benzene and we need to convert it into nitrobenzene, and at the fourth position, that is at the para position, there is bromo group. Okay, now we need to do this reaction carefully. Why am I saying that? Just let me clear the screen so that I can explain the concept behind. We need to convert benzene into nitrobenzene, at the fourth position of which we have bromo group. Okay, now here it can have two possibilities. First, that I convert benzene into bromobenzene, then I convert it into, then I do the nitration to introduce the nitro group. The second way can be, first I can introduce nitro group and then the bromo group. But the second way will be wrong because nitro group is not orthopara directing, it is meta directing. If you will do the nitration in the first step, bromine will go to the meta position in the second step if you do the bromination afterwards. Now, if you do bromination first, then the nitro group will move to the para position because bromine, this bromo group is orthopara directing. Okay, so here we will be follow this sequence that we will first conduct the bromination of benzene in the presence of FeBr3 as catalyst. And now we can just treat it with concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid to form para-bromo nitrobenzene. Okay, let's now move into the next part of this question. I'm just clearing the screen off. So the next part is the sixth part. Benzyl alcohol to 2-phenyl ethanoic acid. Benzyl alcohol to 2-phenyl ethanoic acid. Okay, this is 2-phenyl ethanoic acid. How to convert this? We need to introduce an extra carbon. So I have already told you, when we need to introduce an extra carbon, we need to convert the molecule into cyanide. Okay, now we do not have any method to convert an alcohol into cyanide directly. So what we will do, first we will convert this benzyl alcohol into benzyl halide. Then we will convert the benzyl halide into cyanide. Then that cyanide will be hydrolyzed to give the carboxylic acid. Okay, so let's now write the reaction. CH2OH. So I'm just treating it with SOCl2 in the presence of pyridine. So CH2Cl. Okay. Now you can just treat it with alcoholic KCN so that it gets converted into cyanide. Now do the acidic hydrolysis. And we have got the 2-phenyl ethanoic acid. That is the product that we need. Okay, hope this is clear to you. So this is very simple. It's not that conversions are very tough or something. We just need to have the reactions in mind. Okay. So let's now see what is the next question. It is ethanol to propane nitrile. Okay. It is similar question, just like the previous one. Ethanol to propane nitrile. Okay, CH3CH2OH. Here it is CH3CH2CN. Propane nitrile. Simple as that. Just like the previous question, we can just convert it into ethyl chloride, ethanol to ethyl chloride, treating it with SOCl2 in the presence of pyridine, CH3CH2Cl, then alcoholic KCN, CH3CH2 CN. That's all. So we have done. Now let's move to the eighth question, eighth part of this question. Eighth part is aniline to chlorobenzene. Aniline to chlorobenzene. Okay, so this is aniline. So this question is a bit, it will be tough for you because I think this question should be in the chapter with amines, but it might be that it is, I think, there in the book in this chapter also. Okay, aniline, when we need to convert aniline into some other compound, first step is always diazotization. Diazotization. Now, what is diazotization? We will be converting this aniline into benzene diazonium chloride. Oh, sorry, this is bond. I'm just clearing it off. Let me just make it clean so that it does not create any mess here. Okay, so here it is N2Cl, N2 positive and Cl negative. So this is benzene diazonium chloride. Now, how to convert aniline into benzene diazonium chloride? We will be treating it with HCl and NaNO2. Actually, we are treating it with nitrous acid, HNO2, but HNO2 is unstable, so it is prepared in situ. In situ means that during the reaction, in the reaction mixture, it will be prepared. So we cannot store it, okay? And the temperature here needs to be 0 to 5 degrees C. That is 273 to 278 Kelvin. Very, very important because diazonium salts are very, very unstable. So if the temperature goes above 5 degree, they decompose. Okay, so now we can just convert it into a chlorobenzene by treating it with CuCl and HCl. So this is Sandmeyer's reaction. This reaction is Sandmeyer reaction. Very, very important. Okay. So this step is very important. This is known as diazotization. Conversion of aniline into benzene diazonium chloride. That is the diazonium salt. Okay. Let's now move into the next part of this question. That is part number 9. Let's see what is the conversion there. Ninth part is 2-chlorobutane. We need to convert 2-chlorobutane to 3,4-dimethyl hexane. Okay, CH3, CH2, CHCl, CH3. We need to convert it into 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the third position and at the fourth position. This is third position, this is the fourth position. We have 2 methyl groups. Okay. Okay. Let's see how we can convert it. First of all, just check it out that in this there are 4 carbon atoms and here there are total 8 carbon atoms. So when this is the case that the carbon atoms are double in number, so there can be the possibility of Wurtz reaction. So this is a question of Wurtz reaction only. Okay, what we will do, we will just treat this 2-chlorobutane with sodium metal and it will lead to the formation of this molecule. Let's see how it will be done. So again, I will be taking another molecule of the same compound. Let's treat it with 2 sodium atoms. Now what will happen? These 2 will leave the molecule along with sodium and these 2 carbons will be joined together. Hope this is clear to you. If you see this molecule and this molecule, they are the same molecules. Okay, just I have written it in the other way. All right. So let's now move into the next part, that is part number 10 of this question. The 10th part of this question is 2-methyl-1-propene to 2-chloro-2-methyl-propane. 2-chloro-2-methyl-propane. So first of all, let's do the first step, that is draw the structures of these 2 molecules. 1, 2, 3. At the first position, there is a double bond, and at the second position, there is a methyl group. Now just fulfill all the valencies. Now we need to convert it into 1, 2, 3. Propane is there. At the second position, there is methyl, and the second position, there is chloro group also. So simple, it is nothing, it is just electrophilic addition reaction. We need to add HCl across this carbon-carbon double bond. Okay, so it will be CH3, CH2, double bond is here, plus HCl. It will be, Markovnikov's rule will be followed. Product is formed. Simple, it is nothing complicated in it. So if you draw the structure of the molecules that you need to prepare and from where you need to start, half the work is done already. Okay, let's move into the next question. What was the next one? It is 11th. Okay, 11th part of this question is ethyl chloride to propanoic acid. Try to do it yourself and then come back to check. Okay, so ethyl chloride is Ethyl chloride is CH3CH2Cl, and propanoic acid is CH3CH2COOH. One carbon is extra in the chain now. Okay, now what I've told you, that whenever you need to increase one carbon atom, you will be converting the molecule into first into cyanide. Okay, so CH3CH2Cl, it is treated with alcoholic KCN. It will lead to the formation of cyanide, and now we can just do the acidic hydrolysis of the cyanide, and it will lead to the formation of carboxylic acid. Okay, so let's now move into next part. But1-ene to butyl N-butyl iodide. Okay, but1-ene to N-butyl iodide. All right. So it is CH3CH2CH double bond CH2 to N-butyl iodide. Okay. If we need to prepare N-butyl iodide, we need to see how we can do that, because here Markovnikov's rule will not be applicable. Because if Markovnikov's rule is followed, it will go here. But we need iodide here. So this means anti-Markovnikov's rule needs to be used. And for anti-Markovnikov's rule, we cannot use HI, because peroxide effect, it does not go with HI or HCl or HF. It is only for HBr. Okay, this means we will be first converting this into the N-butyl bromide using HBr, electrophilic addition, in the presence of peroxide. Okay, it will be free radical addition, not the electrophilic. It is no doubt. Okay, I explain these things in my live classes. Okay, so here it is peroxide effect, so it will be the free radical mechanism. All right, now we can just write the product formed. Okay, now just convert this into iodide by treating it with NaI in the presence of acetone. Hope this is clear to you. Okay, let's now move into the next part. This question is a bit longer, so I'm trying to do it as quickly as I can. Okay, part number 13 is 2-chloropropane to 1-propanol. One propanol. So first step, draw the structure. CH3CHCl, CH3. This is what we need to do. Now, we cannot directly convert this into this, because if I treat this molecule with alcoholic not alcoholic, aqueous KOH, what will happen? At the second position, we will get the alcoholic group. But we need it on the first position. So first of all, we need to have the halide molecule, this halide group at the first position. How we will do that? First, we will remove this, then bring halide at the first position, then convert it into alcohol. Okay. So how will you remove it? We have already done it many a times by treating it with alcoholic KOH. It will be dehydrohalogenation. Okay. Now treat it with HBr in the presence of peroxide, because here again anti-Markovnikov's rule needs to be used. CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. Okay, now just treat it with aqueous KOH. It will lead to the formation of 1-propanol, that is the required molecule. Okay, let's now move into the next part. It is part number 14. 14th part of this question is isopropyl alcohol to iodoform. To iodoform. Okay, this is a very special type of reaction. You need to memorize it. Okay, you need to convert it into iodoform. It is CHI3. It is actually a test which is known as iodoform test. Okay. So how to do this? We will be treating this alcohol, that is the isopropyl alcohol, with iodine in the presence of NaOH. It will lead to the formation of CHI3 plus CH3COONA plus NaI plus water. From here it will be water. Okay. Right. So we need to balance this equation. I think you can balance it yourself if you can. Or either I should do this. Okay. Just balance this equation because I do not want to take much of your time here, or either you can go and check in your book. Okay, just do it. All right. So because it will take some time because it is a long equation. Okay, let's now move into the next question. It is we need to convert chlorobenzene into paranitrophenol. Paranitrophenol. So it is chlorobenzene paranitrophenol. Okay. So how to do this? First of all, what we will do the chlorination of nitration of chlorobenzene. Okay. So when we will do the nitration of chlorobenzene, what will happen? NO2 group will be introduced at the para position. So concentrated HNO3 plus concentrated sulfuric acid. Now this is known as this mixture, concentrated sulfuric acid and concentrated HNO3. This mixture is known as nitrating mixture. Okay, because it leads to the nitration. So here it is NO2Cl. Now to convert this molecule, that is para-nitrochlorobenzene, into this para-nitrophenol, we need to treat it with 15% NaOH at a temperature of 443 Kelvin, and then we will be hydrolyzing it with dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, it will lead to the formation of paranitrophenol. All right. Now let's move into the next part of this question, 16th part. 2 bromopropane to 1 bromopropane. 2 bromopropane to 1 bromopropane. So we have already done similar questions a number of times now. Just try to do it yourself, okay? CH3, CHBr, CH3, CH3, CH2, CH2Br. We need to do this conversion. Okay, so what you will do, first of all, you will remove this bromine from this position and you will form the alkene molecule. Afterwards, you will be again converting it into N-butyl bromide. Okay, so I'm just clearing my screen off and I will write the solution. So it was 2 bromopropane, CH3, CHBr, CH3. So I'm just treating it with alcoholic KOH so that it undergoes dehydrohalogenation. CH3, CH double bond CH2. And now I will be treating it with HBr in the presence of peroxide. That is anti-Markovnikov's rule. CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. So our product is formed. Next is the 17th part is chloroethane to butane. 17th, chloroethane to butane, CH3, CH2, Cl, to CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So hope you have recognized which reaction you need to use here. The number of carbon atoms in the final product is double than the number of carbon atoms in the reactant. Again, it's Würth's reaction. Write the equation yourself now. Treat it with sodium, you will get this. Okay. Now let's move into the next part of this question, that is the 18th part. So the 18th part of this question is benzene to diphenyl. Benzene, we have benzene and we need to convert it into diphenyl. Okay, so what you will do, now this is Fittig reaction. I think in the previous questions I have told you what is Fittig reaction. First of all, we will be converting this into chlorobenzene by its chlorination. Then you can take 2 molecules of this chlorobenzene and treat it with sodium metal. It will lead to the formation of biphenyl or diphenyl. It is Fittig reaction. Fittig reaction. Okay. Next is the 19th part of this question is tertiary butyl bromide to isobutyl bromide. Okay. Tertiary butyl bromide. So this is the tertiary butyl group. We need to convert it into secondary or isobutyl bromide, not secondary. It is isobutyl bromide. Okay, this is isobutyl bromide. Let's see how you can do it. First of all, we need to remove it from this position. So I will be doing dehydrohalogenation. Alcoholic KOH. Okay. Right. Now you need to have, it is CH2, not CH3, sorry, CH2. You need to have bromo here and hydrogen here. So you will be treating it with HBr. And now you need to find whether it will be according to Markovnikov's rule or anti-Markovnikov's rule. Okay. So it is this what we need to get. It will be under the effect of peroxide. It is anti-Markovnikov's rule. Okay. Hope now you are clear about it, because if it is Markovnikov's rule, the positive part of the addendum, it will go to that carbon which is having greater number of hydrogen atoms. That is, H positive will go to this carbon atom, but we do not need H to be here. We need H to be here at this point, at this position. Okay, so we will be needing the peroxide effect or anti-Markovnikov's rule. Then last one is aniline to phenyl isocyanide. Phenyl isocyanide. Okay. So this is aniline. We need to convert it into phenyl isocyanide. Now this is a special reaction which is known as carbylamine reaction. It is carbylamine reaction. This reaction is used as a test for the presence of primary amines. Test for the presence of primary amines. I'm not sure why they have given this reaction in this chapter, but still they have given, we need to do it. So what we do here is we will be treating the primary amine, that is here in this case we have been given the primary amine to be aniline. We will be converting it into this isocyanide, phenyl isocyanide, by treating it with CHCl3 and KOH, alcoholic KOH and CHCl3, that is chloroform, and it will lead to the formation of phenyl isocyanide plus 3 KCl plus 3 water. So this is carbylamine reaction, very, very important reaction for the detection or for the confirmation of the presence of primary amine in a reaction, in a sample. Okay, so hope this is clear to you, and now you are feeling more comfortable with the conversions. Okay, and you have started finding it easier than before. And if it is true, do let me know in the comment section below if you're getting the clarity of the concepts, how you can do the conversions in a very easy and simple way. Okay, and I will see you in the next video now with the next questions. If you have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel and share these videos with your friends also, because they too need the help. I know how tough students find chemistry, especially organic chemistry, and inorganic chemistry, especially the conversions. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Stay blessed.